like beyond left field. You're outside of the stadium. Like that is like the first and foremost thing that needs to be cut or just done away with completely. That would be ideal.
I can't even remember the last time AOC talked about the military-industrial complex. And
my gosh, she doesn't even talk about it in the Green New Deal. And I'm sorry,
that's what I was going to bring up.
If your environmentalism doesn't address the military-industrial complex, it's useless. Let's be real. Come on, that's like a joke upon a joke. The fact that she's taken seriously on her Green New Deal when it doesn't include, she didn't even mention fracking. But now she's complaining because Joe Biden doesn't want to ban fracking. Sis, that's not even in your bill or your resolution. She did
propose like a ban fracking bill, but like much later when she received criticism. But I haven't seen her champion it. And also the movement that she champions, that she quote unquote protested with, the Sunrise Movement, also never addresses the military-industrial complex, which is one of the top, if not the top, most contributor to climate change.
I think it is the top.
And you guys saw like how she was like when she was replying to Justin Jackson, she was saying, "Oh, we have like committee deals that we're trying to get. Like we're doing things like behind the scenes." So I want to pull this tweet up. This was from Anya Parampil.
Rest assured, we're working in your best interest. Rest assured.
Yeah. We just can't tell you about it. This is gonna seriously. This is gonna cause a rant. I'm sorry in advance.
We're gonna. I can't wait to hear it. So Anya Parampil, I've interviewed her before. She was like the second person I ever interviewed when I was on the ground.
Yeah,
she said when she entered Congress, AOC staged a faux quote unquote protest of Pelosi and said it was her job to back up the House Speaker. Now we see her playing the same role again as she rejects grassroots demands to challenge Pelosi on Medicare for All. Judge her by her words. And then she plays a video which shows that Pelosi knew about this protest that AOC was going to do. And then she went on to vote for Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House.
More recently, Ocasio-Cortez spent day one of freshman orientation on the Hill, engaging in what some in the media described as a protest against House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi.
But one of the things that I admire so much about Leader Pelosi is that she comes from a space of activism and organizing. And so I think that she really appreciates civic engagement. This is an encouragement of her. And this is to show that we're here to back up bold action and that that she will be supported in that.
Doesn't really sound like a protest, does it? That's because it wasn't. Pelosi immediately defended the activists, claiming to have been inspired by their presence. And within days, Ocasio-Cortez endorsed Pelosi's candidacy for Speaker of the House. In other words, the so-called future of the party is throwing her support behind the woman who's led the Democrats in the House since 2003.
Let's hear the rant, Misty.
Okay. This is some of the most it's offensive. Like, it is offensive to me that that protest, first of all, was so staged. I don't know why anybody thought that was a legitimate protest anyways. It could, come on. It looked obviously staged. But
that was like the worst attempt at a color revolution ever staged.
Yeah. But oh shit, now I forget what I was going to say.
How she stages stuff.
What?
You were going to say like how she like pretends to be this this protester, but she does it in advance.
And another thing yes, thank you. Okay, another thing that annoyed me about that protest is when she was interviewed afterward, she was telling people that Nancy Pelosi comes from a place of protest and that she's really an activist at heart. And that was the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. I don't know a ton about Nancy Pelosi's history, and there's, I'm sure that maybe she did attend some protests. I have no idea. But to think that Nancy Pelosi, like 2020 Nancy Pelosi, or 2018, I guess it would have been Nancy Pelosi, is an activist or has like a protester's heart. Are you kidding? She's $100 millionaire. Her fridge costs more than some people's cars. It's absurd to think that Nancy Pelosi is a woman of the people. And it's, this whole crap about stealing another party's platform, watering it down, making it corporate friendly, making it your own, and then lecturing people. It's seriously, there's so many things that I could go off about these people about, because it really is just performative. All of this, it's so performative to me. It's all like a political theater. The protest was political theater, and then she's on the cover of Rolling Stone with Nancy Pelosi, like a couple months later, and she's voting for her for Speaker of the House, and she's calling her Mama Bear. I mean, I don't know any. Progressive. Go ahead.
Do you know the provenance of that Mama Bear? Where does that come from?
Mama Bear, Mama Papa Bear.
Like, I get, Pelosi's older Mama Bear, but like, why Mama Bear? Nancy Pelosi,
well, it's just like bear. So first, it's a meme. It's like a parenting meme. Like it's a. If you are a mom, then you're kind of a mama bear when it comes to your kids. Like, you're very protective, and you want to take care of everybody, whatever. It's that sort of a thing. But where it came from is she gave an interview. I don't know if it was like to Vanity Fair or I don't know, somebody. But that's how she described Nancy Pelosi. She called her the mama bear of the House or of Congress or whatever. And any progressive who heard her say that and then continue to think that she is somebody who's going to stand up to Nancy Pelosi is that's mental gymnastics that I can't even wrap my head around. Right. Anybody, she's not ever, never, she is never going to stand up to Nancy Pelosi. Never. That's a problem. Isn't that the whole point of them? Wasn't it supposed to be like, we're going to elect these progressives and they're going to go in there and they're going to fight and they're going to stand up to Nancy Pelosi and they're going to, push back against the corruption and, we're going to rally the troops and we're going to, no, they've capitulated at every turn. They're not fighting for you. They're not fighting for you at all.
So let me quote something real quick. The Justice Democrats are not meant to be, I'm paraphrasing here. The Justice Democrats are not meant to be making friends with other politicians in Congress. Kyle Kulinski, the founder of the Justice Democrats, said that. But not just AOC, because we've been going off on her, but the rest of the squad have been making friends with the people that we're supposed to be fighting against. Like, these are the people that we voted for you to fight against, yet you're capitulating with them. So are you really for the people, or are you more for your career?
To me, the answer is obvious that they're more for their career. Take Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar. So let's take Rashida Tlaib, for example. Great. First Palestinian woman elected to Congress in the U.S. That's a good thing, objectively. What has she done? Absolutely nothing. What has she done for Palestinian self-determination to stop Israel's genocide against them? Absolutely nothing. Ilhan Omar, a refugee from Somalia. Great that she's elected to Congress. That's a good thing, objectively. What has she done to stop the U.S.'s forever war on Somalia, to stop drone assassinations there? Nothing. They've done nothing but, as Misty has been saying, be performative. And I don't know how long that needs to go on before people realize that it's complete bullshit, but it seems like it's going to go on for a while. And I think these people make justifications and, it's their first term, or, there's only a few of them. We got to get a few more in there. I'm sorry, stop excusing. You have to stop excusing the inexcusable. The whole point to these progressives running and for us electing them was so that they could go to Congress and flip some fucking tables, right? That was the point. Like, we're going to go in there and we're going to mess shit up and we're going to take over, and we have the people behind us, and that's what we're going to do. And that's not what they're doing. And it's not even just, like you guys said, it's not just AOC, it's, all of them. And I mean, some of them were less impressive just from start. Like Ayanna Pressley she was a Hillary surrogate. She bashed Bernie Sanders in 2016. I didn't expect much from
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, she endorsed Elizabeth Warren. I really wasn't expecting much from her anyway. But when you're like an AOC or an Ilhan Omar, AOC really, I know that sounds unfair to point her out, but she's the one who ran on this, super progressive. And it's her own words. Like Jimmy Dore showed the videos of her in 2017 or whatever it was, talking about how we have to, take chances and we have to be bold and we have to hold them accountable and we have to make it happen. Like we have to go in there and pressure them. That's the only way you get things done. These are all things that she said. And, now it's 2020 and look what she's doing. Look what she's saying. Look what she's done. Nothing. Why is it okay with you? Why is that okay? I don't get that.
So
yeah.
even if the Democrats don't vote for Nancy Pelosi, or they force her to actually agree to put Medicare for all up for a vote, let's say that happens, and then if it goes far enough, Joe Biden can veto it. You know what this does? No matter which step you go through, the point of this is that it exposes who's actually fighting and who's not fighting. And that's that's what Jimmy Dore's goal was. I don't think Jimmy Dore thinks that this is gonna be a success, a quote unquote success, but it will be a success in terms of it'll expose who's actually fighting for us.
Right.
And what better time to do that than when people are hyper focused on the fact that we don't have healthcare? I mean, in a pandemic, that's something that people kind of start paying attention to a little bit more. The fact that we don't have healthcare in this country. So now there is no better time than right now to do what Jimmy Dore is doing. Is it a perfect plan? No, of course not. I mean, are there other plans that we could go with? Are there other? But who else? If you want to criticize Jimmy Dore, fine. That's okay. I will totally take that. If you want to criticize him on his idea, what's your idea? Come up with something better. He's the only one who's come up with some sort of a solution to force some sort of action to benefit the people. I mean, and I think he's overly optimistic. I think that he thinks that it would pass in the House. I think that the donors will never allow that to happen. Maybe just for, just to save face a little bit and to be performative, because they know that it won't get through the Senate and they know that Joe Biden has already said that he would veto it anyways, which is amazing that, that's the thing that's okay
in a
with
pandemic.
Yeah, in a pandemic, and people still voted for him and thought that they were, doing some great service to humanity. You didn't. So yeah, I just think that it's all this
health isn't free. Come on, man.
And it'll show.
Lose some weight. Look fat, lose some weight, then you won't have health problems. Vote for Trump.
In the
or
history
the
books.
Biden. Vote for the other Biden.
In the history books, we will see how during a pandemic they were refusing to give people universal health care. Meanwhile, the rest of the world had universal health care. And look at all the money that's owed to us too, the stimulus. We only got a $1,200 check. Some people didn't get it. And then in other countries, they're receiving way more monthly. The bare minimum is Medicare for all.